Hello, everyone. Very welcome to this iBwave webinar. My name is Milton Malva. I'm a sales engineer. And today we will talk about the unlock seamless indoor-outdoor network designs and how the iBwave solution can help to solve this challenge that we have in these indoor-outdoor environments. The number of indoor-outdoor design networks environments are increasing in the market based on the network densification or even based on the private networks. And basically, we have this type of challenges when we have not only indoor design or not only an outdoor design, but we have both networks in the same areas. And if we talk about the macro network, this is the traditional sites that we have, right, to cover or to attend a specific area. But sometimes we need to implement some street level solutions or some small cell solutions or outdoor DAS solutions or even radio DAS solutions for coverage, for capacity. So we can, right now we have a lot of solutions to attend the macro networks, but in these areas, many times we will have some buildings of interest, and in those buildings, we need to investigate how is the macro penetration inside the building in order to see if the macro network can attend the KPIs in the building, right? So in many cases, we need to do that doing bulk test campaigns. And if you have a fast option to do this analysis, we can investigate much more fast if the this macro penetration inside the building. And if necessary, of course, we can create an indoor design. When we create an indoor design, we will have an indoor network in the same area. And for this indoor design, of course, we need to take into account the macro penetration because we need to investigate and guarantee the dominance of the indoor over the macro. And we need to guarantee the KPIs in the indoor design in multiple floors. But since we create an indoor design, we will have a signal leakage going out through the building. So we need to investigate again how will be the impact of the indoor signal leakage in the outdoor environments. So in the end of the day, we have all networks in the same area. And like I said before, we have a lot of use cases that represent these types of indoor and outdoor network designs, such as shopping malls, university campus, ports, airports, mining environments, oil and gas environments, industrial environments. For private networks, we have a lot of new challenges in the hospitality market, in the logistics market. So when we have all these challenges, we need to have accuracy tools in order to do all necessary analysis and output maps to create the macro network solution, to create the indoor solution, and to integrate both solutions in order to have the entire view of the networks and make sure that all networks are correctly optimized, right? In iBwave, we have this complete solution using two different tools. We have iBwave Reach and iBwave Design. So in iBwave Reach, we can create the detailed macro network design. So we can create a macro network design using any type of solution. So we can use the traditional macro sites. We can use street level solutions like small cells or other DAS or any other street level solutions in order to create a detailed macro network. And of course, if you have any building inside this area, any building of interest inside this area, we can export these predictions to the outdoor design tool that is called iBwave Design. And in iBwave design, we can create the detailed 3D modeling of the buildings. So we can represent in detail the indoor environment in order to consider all important parameters to the area of propagation, right? Such as reflections, diffractions, refractions, direct line of sight, and no direct line of sight. So in this case, we can guarantee the predictions and the output maps in the indoor environment. And when we launched this integration between the tools some years ago, in order to see the final analysis of all networks, we could export the indoor predictions as well and back to Reach to have the analysis of all networks. But right now we launched a new GIS function and a new GIS feature in iBwave design, so we can make the analysis of all networks in iBwave design right now. So in this case, we save a lot of time because we can make all necessary analysis considering all networks in iBwave design and before finish the indoor designs. And then, of course, we can export to Reach if we want to continue to make analysis in Reach, considering all networks. So this is the example that I will show to you today using a very typical use case demo. Here we have a campus university environment. So we have an outdoor area. In this outdoor area, we will see how we can run the output maps. But in this campus environment, we have 4 buildings of interest, and we have these 4 building model in our indoor design in the same file. So we can integrate both tools, and then we can make all this analysis between the networks. So let's start with iBwave Reach. In iBwave Reach, we can create our outdoor environment. In order to create our outdoor environment, we need to work with GIS files, right? We need to use digital files. So we can import these geodata files here in the tool in order to model the outdoor environment. We can work with different files. So here we can work with heights. Heights will be the digital terrain model. We can work with clutters, with clutter heights, and with polygons. And all these files can be imported, so we can create different layers of information in order to run the predictions and have more information in order to calculate the area of propagation in the tool. So here I will show some examples. In this case, we have a digital terrain model with 2 meters resolution. This is the DTM file. We can import a clutter file as well. The clutter file will be the classified zones in the area. So in this case, the tool can understand where we have the streets, where we have urban areas, suburban areas, rural areas, vegetation, water, for example. All this information will be used in the calculations. And we can have the polygons. The polygons will be the 3D obstructions. I can have 3D files for trees, for example, that we can see here in green. We can have the 3D buildings as well. So in this case, each polygon that you can see here in yellow is representing one building in 3D, and all these informations that we have will be used in the calculation of the in the propagation calculations for the output maps, right? I can create different areas that can be used in the tool. So this line in blank here is representing my campus area. So it's the area of interest for the campus. And since I have this environment created, I can start to create my sites, right? In order to input my sites, I can import an existing information. So if I have an existing spreadsheet or an existing table in a generic format with the parameters of the sites, for example, for the macro sites, with the basic informations such like coordinates, antenna heights, azimuth, down tilt, all specific information that I have in this table, I can import in the tool and create the sites automatically, and then I will see the sites here. And since we imported here the macro sites, for example, we can run the analysis. And the first analysis that we can run here is the macro only analysis. So here we are looking for the area therapy map for LTE. This is the coverage only with taking account the macro sites. And in this specific, let's say that in this specific campus area, inside this area, I have a street area where I want to evaluate how is the coverage of the outdoor sites or the existing outdoor sites in these streets or in these important streets in the campus area. So in this case, I can come here in the network analysis. I can right click here in this specific output map and compute the statistics. So I can evaluate the statistics of this map in this street area, and then if I calculate these statistics, I can create here a graph showing the distribution of the signal level at this area. And then I can see here the results, and I can see that I have some low levels in the street area of interest. And then I want to create some solution to solve this problem. So to create this solution, I can use, for example, small cells, or I can use an outdoor DAS. I can use different solutions, right? And in this case, if I want to create an outdoor DAS solution, I can come here to my sites and I can start to create sites to solve this problem. The structure of the sites will include the different technologies. So I will see the different technologies. Here we have LTE in 2.1 and 5G in 3.7. For each technology, I will have specific configurations for the technology for specific sites in sectors. So here I can set different powers, different configurations for LTE, and the same for 5G. And for each sector, I will have assigned antenna. And for each antenna, of course, I can see the different antenna patterns. I can define the antenna height, I can define the azimuth, I can define the down tilts. And since I create the sites, importing the sites or manually, if I want, I can create site templates. So if I need to create new sites based on a specific template, it will be very fast to create new sites. And then if I create this solution, for example, to solve that problem, that coverage problem, for example, I can see another prediction only considering my outdoor DAS, and then I will see my outdoor DAS solution. And finally, I can run a final map considering all macro network, considering my macro sites and our outdoor DAS solution. And if I run the statistics again, I can create a layout to compare the statistics. So I will see my statistics considering only the macro network. And then when I apply a new solution in the macro environment, I can see the results, and I can solve any problem in my macro environment. But remember that not inside this area, I have our our buildings, right? So inside this area, I have 4 buildings, and I want to investigate how is the penetration of this outdoor signal inside the buildings. And then, in order to make this analysis indoor, outdoor, the only integration that I need to do between the tools is coming here in this project data panel. And here I need to create a link to the file where I have my indoor design. So in my indoor tool, I create a design in iBwave file. So here I just need to point where I have this file, and then I just need to right click and export the outdoor predictions. The export can be done by multiple bands, multiple frequencies, multiple technologies. I can make it by groups, so I can export only the macro sites. I can export the macro and the outdoor DAS, only the outdoor DAS. So it's very flexible in order to export what I want to see in my indoor design. And I can export in multiple heights as well, because since I have multiple floors in the buildings, I will have different signal reaching the buildings in different heights, right? So it's important to come here in our project settings and define multiple prediction heights. So in the same export, I can export all bands, all technologies, and in multiple sectors and multiple floors, multiple heights. Sorry. So since I export here, I can go to our iBwave design. In our iBwave design, we have our indoor design. Here in the indoor file, you can see that we have 4 buildings. The 4 buildings, we already created the 3D modeling here in the indoor design. In the indoor design, we can create the 3D modeling using different files. So we can use an AutoCAD file, we can use an image file, and then we can assign different materials to the walls. We can create a very detailed 3D modeling for each floor, and then creating multiple buildings in the same file. We have this building, and in order to import the predictions, we just need to come here to the reach button, to the reach menu, and click here in the import predictions button, and then we can select the technologies and bands that we want to import. So here we will see if we want to import LTE and 5G, multiple bands. Here we can see the multiple buildings. And when we import the predictions, we can import not only the outdoor predictions, but we can import the reach outdoor plan. So if we import all options that we have here, automatically the algorithm will import all necessary heights, prediction heights per building, and will assign the correct prediction heights by floor, and will assign the predictions by technology. So this is very seamless algorithm, very fast to import and assign all corresponding technologies and bands by building and by floor. But since we create the reach plan, or since we import the information from the reach plan, we can use this button to create the reach outdoor plan. The reach outdoor plan will reproduce here in iBwave design the same information that we have in reach. So we will see exactly the outdoor map here. We can see the same sites, the same macro sites here in the map. And here we can see all predictions imported in different heights in both technologies. But now with the new GIS function that we launched for iBwave design, I can create outdoor maps here in the indoor tool. So I can come here in the outdoor panel, and I can create a new outdoor map. So let's say that I want to see the outdoor maps here inside design. So I can create an outdoor design. I will consider only the outdoor sites, and I will run in both technologies. But for this first prediction, I will run only the RSRP and the RSRP at 1.5 meter. I can click OK, and here in the outdoor panel, I can run the maps. And then here in iBwave design, now I can see the RSRP map for the outdoor environment. So the same map that we are looking here in Reach, this is the macro outdoor signal that we are looking here in Reach for LTE. We can see it here in design, and the same for 5G. If I want to see the SS RSRP, I will see the SS RSRP map here. That is the same map that I can see here in Reach when we run the macro output map for the SS RSRP in Reach. So now I have the outdoor maps here in iBwave design, and if I want to see these maps in the new GIS view, I can click here in this option, create GIS plan, and then I will see the detailed GIS plan here. So I'm looking the same outdoor map, but now in a new GIS plan view. And in this plan view is very huge because I can change the map view option. So here I'm looking for the default view with the map street in the base map, but I can change to the satellite view. Then I will see the satellite view as base map, and I can change to 3D building view as well. And then I will see these the same 3D buildings that we have in Reach. I can see here now in iBwave design, and looking for the outdoor maps, right? But remember that when we imported the maps here, I would like to investigate the macro penetration inside the buildings. So now, if I want to investigate the macro penetration inside the buildings, I can come here in some building in order to make this analysis. And I will focus in this building here, in this building here is the arts building, because here we can see that we have the macro 8 site, and we have an outdoor DAS here as well, and another outdoor DAS here. And then when we imported this outdoor signals here in design, if I want to see this specific building, I can come here in the arts building. I will go to the floor 1, and here in the floor 1, if I want to see the outdoor signal here, I can just come here in the Reach Imported Prediction Maps and select, for example, the LTE maps. And now I can see the LTE maps here, right? And when we exported the macro signals, we exported all sectors. So here I can see all sectors and all corresponding PCIs. But remember that in this building, I have three macro sites near this building. So here I can apply a filter only to evaluate the signal penetration of these 3 sites. So I can select macro 8, I can select others 5, and I can select the older DAS 7. And then I will see the 6 sectors here. And if I want to investigate each one separately, I can select, for example, only the outdoors, the outdoor DAS 5. I can apply a filter by PCI 292. I can apply a filter by macro site. I will apply the sector 3, that is PCI 82. And then this is the macro signal coming from the sector 3 of the site macro 8. And this is the first floor. If I look for the next floors, I will see the signal increasing, because the signal coming from the macro site normally will increase in the highest floors, right? So here I can see exactly the different levels of the outdoor signal reaching the building in different phases of the building, right? But remember that this is the outdoor prediction, right? So this is not considering the materials of the building. This is not considering the detailed 3D modeling. So now we can use exactly the integration between the tools to run this prediction here in the indoor tool that is called macro area SRP interpolation, because this prediction will consider the outdoor signals around the building and will interpolate the signal inside the building, considering right now the different materials, the different walls, the different structures. And then we can see in very nice detail how is the impact of each view, of each material, of each wall. I can investigate each different floor, and then I can check in the legend if I can attend the KPIs inside the building with the macro penetration. So I can make the detailed analysis about the macro penetration, and if the macro penetration doesn't attend the KPI inside the building, I can create an indoor design, and then I can start to run maps in the indoor tool. And then now we can see here the LET RSRP for the indoor design. So we are doing an indoor design here with small cells. So I can create an indoor design in LTE, I can create an indoor design in 5G, and then I can create my detailed indoor design. But remember that I already imported my macro signal, so I'm considering the macro signal in my indoor design. So in this case, I can run another map showing the dominance over macro. So I can guarantee that my indoor design will have enough quality, will have enough dominance over the macro in order to guarantee all KPIs. And of course, if we go to the first floors, we will see the signal leakage. The signal leakage is exactly the signal of the indoor network that's going outside to the building, right? So now I would like to investigate how is the impact of the signal leakage in the outdoor signal. So you can see that for each floor, if I go to the first floor, you will see different signal leakages, right? Because for each one, we run the signal leakage map. And in the past versions of the tools, if I want to investigate the impact of this leakage in the outdoor, I needed to export the predictions from design and import in reach to see all networks only in reach. But now with the new GIS option, remember that we have our outdoor our outdoor layout. In our outdoor layout, we can have different maps. So in the outdoor layout, remember that we can create our map take in account only the outdoor signals. So in this case, I run more maps to show you, so I can see the RSRP of the outdoor. I can see the RSRP reference signal SNR. I can see the area SRQ. I can see the SNR, considering only the outdoor, and the same for 5G. I can see the SS RSRP, I can see the SS RSRQ, the SS SNR, I can see the PDSH SNR. But now, since I created an indoor design, if I want to evaluate the impact of the indoor in the outdoor, I can create another map in this outdoor layout, considering the indoor. So here in the tab of analysis, I can consider the indoor. And then if I run the map considering the indoor, for example, here, if I look for the SNR, only 5G SNR only with the outdoor, if I change to the same map, but considering the indoor, we will see the indoor signal in each building. So if I zoom in here, we will see here, for example, in these 3 buildings, we can see exactly the indoor signal now. And if I want to check the PDSH SNR, I can see the PDSH SNR considering the indoor. The same for the SNR. So during my indoor design, I can make changes. If I face some problems in the outdoor, I can make changes, rerun this map considering the indoor, and then I can make sure that my indoor design is ready. And then if I want, I can do my final process. If I want to continue some analysis in Rich, I can just and before export, if I want to see any of these maps in the GIS plan, remember that I just need to come here, right? So I can see all these different maps here in the new GIS plan view. So I can change maps here and see the maps in this plan as well. So I have 2 different views here. This is very helpful if I want to create new documentations, if I want to create more professional reports, of course. But finally, I can export the predictions to Rich. So when I finalize my indoor design, I can export the predictions. I can export all technologies, all bands in only one export. And then if I back to Rich, I can do the same analysis here, considering indoor and outdoor again. But in this case, I can use another feature that we have in Rich here, that is create, for example, 2 maps. So I can see, for example, in map 1, I can see the macro, only macro for 5G, for example, and then I can clone this map, and I can create a new vertical tab group. Then I will see 2 maps here. I can sync the maps in order to move and see the same here. Yeah, and then here in the map 1, we have only outdoor. In map 2, I will set macro and indoor DAS for 5G. So now we can see here in the specific buildings, I can see the indoor networks. So in the same map, I have indoor and outdoor. And if I want to investigate the best server, I can set in map 2, I can put the indoor and outdoor. And here in map 1, I can put only macro best server map. And then I can see again in the inside the buildings, I can see the new best servers coming from the indoor network, right? And then I can make all these investigations here in Reach. I can run statistics as well, like we did before. So now with this new GIS function, we have much more flexibility. We can evaluate much more fast indoor and outdoor networks in the same tool and save time before export to Reach, for example. So now we could increase more our complete solution for indoor and outdoor network designs. Okay. This is the content that I would like to share. Of course, this is just a fast view about all solution, right? So before finishing, let me see if we have some questions here. Good, very nice, good question. Are you using open source map or clutter terrain 5G maps? In this example, we are not using open source maps, right? But if we look here in the tool, we have an option to import open source maps. So here in the extensions button, if I want to import some open source maps, we have options here to import heights, clusters, and building polygons, and vectors, right? The difference between the open source and the paid source, let's say, will be the resolution, of course. But here especially in the heights, depending of the region, we will have different options. And in some options here, we can find resolutions up to 5 meters, 10 meters, and depends of the use case, it will be a very nice resolution, right? The same for the buildings. Since we use the OpenStreetMap vectors, depending of the region, we will have more or less building polygons. But it's a very nice option to use as open sources, right? Let me see more questions here. Can we add buildings to the map that are part of the new construction plan? Yes, there's a very nice question as well. Since we have our building, since we have our polygons, right, buildings or trees, we can edit this existing table and create new buildings to take in account in our predictions, right? Or I can create a new table if I want to have separate layers to consider or not consider new buildings, for example. But basically, we can draw new buildings because remember that the GIS platform of iBwave Reach is the map info. So together with the Reach license, you receive a Map Info Pro license as well. So all functions that you have in Map Info, you will see here in Reach. So for this reason, you can edit tables, you can create new tables, we can edit maps. So you have here the cosmetic layer where you can edit these new buildings or new any other functions in your project. And we have raster functions as well. The raster functions are very nice because we have a lot of raster operations here that help a lot if you will want to make more analysis, because we have calculator, we have a lot of options. So with these mapping info functions, we have a lot of flexibility to increment our project and do different analysis. Is the outdoor propagation model the same as the one used for indoor? No. The tools use different propagation models, exactly because we have different environments, right? And we must have different math formulas to do the calculations. In the outdoor, in the reach tool, we traditionally use the P3M. The P3M is very powerful engine from Planet. Remember that reach is created over the Planet's platform. So in this case, we use P3M. That is a very nice propagation model for outdoor predictions, because in P3M you can consider all these layers, right? So as much as layers you have in your database will be considered in your calculations. So it's very accurate propagation model. And for iBwave design, we need to use an indoor propagation model for the indoor calculations, right? So here in for the indoor predictions in iBwave design, we use the fast ray tracing, because for indoor design, the fast ray tracing is the most complex propagation model, because we'll consider exactly all available path of signal, right? So you will consider the reflections, the diffractions, the refractions, and so on. How rich for today is the selection of antenna patterns which can be used? We use for the antennas we use the same format of Planet, right? So we use the PAFX format, right? But here in the tool we have multiple options to create antennas. So here, if we go to the oh, sorry, I'm in design. If we go to the plan menu, we will see here options to open files. So the traditional file is the PAFX, right? This is the Planet format. But if we need or if we have another formats, we can import files. So in the import files, we can import different antennas, patterns, formats, right? And then we can create the antennas here as well. But the traditional file or the default format is the PAFX. Okay. We have more questions, guys. We don't have time, but we will answer all by email. But before I finish, I just want to show you some special promotion that we have up to the end of the year. I will leave some minutes here to you if you want to use the opportunity. So we have here the QR code that will point you to our training options. In this training page, you will see all available trainings in our portfolio with 10% off. Okay, so it's available up to the end of the year. And of course, this is just demo. So the idea is to show very fast all new features and how we can integrate the tools and make the detailed analysis between macro and indoor designs. But anyone that want to request more detailed demo or new about pricing or any other information, please feel free to send an email to sales.iBwave.com. And thank you so much for everybody that participated in this webinar. Have a nice week and see you in the next webinar. Thank you.